Hello student, in previous class I discussed about equivalent mass and different method for the calculation of equivalent mass. What is equivalent mass? The equivalent mass of a substance is some parts by mass of that substance which can directly or indirectly combine or displace 1.008 parts by mass of hydrogen or 8 parts by mass of oxygen or 35.5 parts by mass of chlorine. Next, I discussed about different methods for the calculation of equivalent mass. First formula is equivalent mass of an element is equal to atomic mass by valency. Second formula is equivalent mass of a radical is ionic mass divided by magnitude of charge. Next is equivalent mass of an acid. Equivalent mass of an acid is equal to molecular mass divided by basicity. Similarly, equivalent mass of a base is equal to molecular mass by acidity. Similarly, next, finally, I discussed about the equivalent mass of a salt. Equivalent mass of a salt is equal to molecular mass divided by total positive or negative charge. In this class, in today class, I will discuss about the equivalent mass of metal. How can you find the equivalent mass of a metal? There are different methods for the calculation of equivalent mass of a metal. I now I will discuss about the chloride method. As for the chloride method, the formula is equivalent mass of metal is equal to weight of metal divided by weight of chlorine into 35.5. This is the formula for the calculation of equivalent mass of a metal. Take an example to explain the chloride method clearly. In problem number 1, the chloride of a metal contains 65% chlorine. Calculate the equivalent mass of metal. As per the question, a metal chloride is given. A metal chloride is given, and the metal chloride having 65% chlorine. That means if I will take 100 gram of metal chloride, 100 gram of metal chloride, then the amount of chlorine is how much? The amount of chlorine is your 65 gram. If and the rest is the metal. So at first in this problem I can write the given data first. Look at that. Here I can write let the weight of metal chloride is equal to 100 gram. If metal chloride is 100 gram, then obviously the weight of chlorine is your 65 gram, because the metal chloride contains 65% of chlorine. That means if I will take 100 gram of metal chloride, then weight of chlorine is how much? 65 gram. Then I can calculate the rest. That means weight of metal is equal to 100 minus 65, which is equal to 35 gram. Now apply the formula. Equivalent mass of the metal is equal to weight of metal divided by weight of chlorine into 35.5. Now here I have written equivalent mass is equal to weight of metal divided by weight of chlorine into 35.5. Weight of metal is how much? Weight of metal is your 35 gram. Weight of chlorine how much? Weight of metal and weight of chlorine in this formula. Then I can write equivalent mass is equal to 35 divided by into 35.5. After calculation, it is seen that equivalent mass of the metal is 19.11. This is problem number 1. Next, move another problem. 2.4 gram of 2.4 gram of silver was completely converted into silver nitrate, which on treatment with excess of NaCl, the solution proceed 3.19 gram of silver chloride. Calculate the equivalent mass of silver. Look at that. Here, the weight of metal, that is your silver, is taken as 2.4 gram, and the weight of silver chloride is 3.19 gram. That means here I can write here I can write weight of given data. This is the given data. Weight of silver chloride is equal to 3.19 gram. Weight of silver equal to 2.4 gram. Therefore, here I can write weight of chlorine is equal to 3.19 minus 2.479. Since we need the weight of chlorine, so here I have written, here I have calculated weight of chlorine. Now put the formula. Now write the formula first. Equivalent mass of silver is equal to weight of silver divided by weight of chlorine into 35.5. Here the weight of silver is your how much? 2.4. Weight of chlorine is your 0.79. So here I can write equivalent mass of silver is equal to 2.4 divided by 0.79 into 35.5. After calculation, if I will calculate this part, then I will find 107.85. So here I can say that equivalent mass of silver is 107.85. You can also solve different types of problem by using the chloride method. That means equivalent mass of metal is equal to weight of metal divided by weight of chlorine into 35.5. Now think about the oxide method. As per the oxide method, like the chloride method, you can also write the formula for oxide method. Equivalent mass is equal to weight of metal divided by weight of oxygen into 8. Since here I have taken in the chloride method, I have taken what? Weight of chlorine. Now for oxide method, since here I have compared with 35.5 part of chlorine, so here I have multiplied 35 as per the definition. In oxide, for oxide, that is compared with the 8 part of oxygen. So in this formula I have written multiplied with the 8. Finally, I can say that equivalent mass of metal is equal to weight of metal divided by weight of oxygen into 8. In problem, what will happen? Weight of metal is given, weight of oxygen is given. Then question will ask find the equivalent mass of metal. Look at an example. In problem number 1, calculate the equivalent mass of metal whose oxide contain 35.2% of oxygen. Like the problem number 1 for chloride method, you will similarly we can solve this problem. In chloride method, you will find the weight of chlorine, but here you will find the weight of oxygen. In chloride method, you have written weight of metal chloride, but in oxide method, here you will write weight of metal oxide. Let the weight of metal oxide is equal to 100 gram. If metal oxide gram, then as per the question, I can write here weight of oxygen is equal to 35.2 gram. Like that, we can also find weight of metal is equal to 100 minus 35.2 is equal to 84.8 gram. That means in the metal oxide, the weight of oxygen is 35.2 gram and weight of metal is your 64.8 gram. Now put the weight of metal and weight of oxygen in the formula. Equivalent mass of metal is equal to weight of metal divided by weight of oxygen into 8. Now put the value of weight of metal and weight of oxygen. Finally, I can write equivalent mass of metal is equal to 64.8 divided by 35.2 into 8. After solving, you can find equivalent mass of metal is equal to 14.72. Take another problem, problem number 2. An oxide of a metal contain 60% oxygen. Find the equivalent mass. If the valence of the metal is 3, calculate the atomic mass. Look at that. In this question, first target is find out the equivalent mass by applying the oxide method formula. After getting the equivalent mass, here valence is given. Again apply the formula. Atomic mass is equal to equivalent mass into valency. It is already discussed for the calculation of atomic mass in the previous classes. Now here I can write weight of metal oxide is your 100 gram. Let it is taken as suppose I will take weight of metal oxide is your 100 gram. Since your percentage is given, so I have taken for simplification weight of metal oxide lead is equal to 100 gram. If metal oxide is 100 gram, as per the question, 60% oxygen is present. So here I can write weight of oxygen is equal to 60 gram. Therefore, weight of metal is equal to how much? 100 minus 60, that is your 40 gram. Now apply the formula. Equivalent mass is equal to weight of metal divided by weight of oxygen into 8. Now, now put the value of weight of metal, that is your 40 gram, and weight of oxygen, that is your 60 gram. Now put the value in this formula, then I can write equivalent mass equal to 40 divided by 60 into 8. After solving, you can think that 5.33. The answer is 5.33. So here I can say that equivalent mass is equal to 5.33. But here another question is already given. If the valence of metal is 3, calculate the atomic mass. So here I can use this formula. Atomic mass equal to equivalent mass into valency. Now put the value of equivalent mass and valency. Valency means here 3. So here I can write atomic mass is equal to 5.33 into 3 is equal to 15.99, which is nearly equal to 16. So here I can say that atomic mass of the metal is 16. At first I discussed about the chloride method. Next I discussed about the oxide method, and third is the hydride method. Like the oxide and chloride method, the formula is also similar. So here I can write equivalent mass of metal is equal to weight of metal. Instead of weight of chlorine or weight of oxygen, here I can write weight of hydrogen and multiplied with 1.008 because it is compared with the 1.008 part of hydrogen as in the definition of the equivalent mass. As per the definition of equivalent mass, here I multiplied 1.008. Now the final formula is equivalent mass of metal is equal to weight of metal divided by weight of hydrogen displaced into 1.008. Now take problem. Look at that problem. In problem number 1, magnesium hydrate contains 7.75% hydrogen. Find out the equivalent mass of magnesium. Like the chloride and oxide method, here also in this problem, percentage of hydrogen is also given. In magnesium hydroxide, what amount of hydrogen is present? 7.75%. That means if I will take the weight of magnesium hydroxide is 100 gram, then weight of hydrogen is how much? 7.75 gram. Because here 7.75% of hydrogen is given. After getting the weight of hydrogen and weight of magnesium hydride, I can find weight of magnesium is equal to 100 minus 7.75. After subtraction of 7.75 from 100, I can find 92.25. So here I can say that weight of magnesium is equal to 92.25. Now apply the formula. Equivalent mass of metal is equal to weight of metal divided by weight of hydrogen into 1.008. So here I can write the formula. Equivalent mass of metal is equal to weight of metal divided by weight of hydrogen into 1.008. Now put the weight of metal and weight of hydrogen. Here weight of metal is how much? That means weight of hydrogen is your how much? 92.25. Weight of hydrogen is your how? Here I can write equivalent mass is equal to 92.25 divided by 7.75 into 1.008. After solving, it is seen that equivalent mass is equal to 12. Therefore, equivalent mass of magnesium is here 12. Now take problem number 2. In problem number 2, I will find here calcium hydride is given. In calcium hydride, 4.8% of hydrogen is present. Find the equivalent mass of calcium. If I will take 100 gram of calcium hydroxide, then the weight of hydrogen as per the question is 4.8 gram. After getting the weight of hydrogen and weight of calcium hydride, I will find weight of calcium is equal to 100 minus 4.8. After calculation, you can say that the weight of calcium is your 95.2 gram. Again, apply the formula for the hydride method. Here we can write equivalent mass of metal is equal to weight of metal divided by weight of hydrogen displaced into 1.008. Put the value of weight of metal and weight of hydrogen. Here I can so write that equivalent mass is equal to 95.2 divided by 4.8 whole into 1.008. After solving, you can find that equivalent mass is equal to 20. So here I can say that equivalent mass of calcium is equal to 20.